Royal shocker. Spain's future king-in-law arrives for Princess Leonor. The palace expected calm. A normal day. Routine protocol. But then, he arrived. Unannounced. Uninvited. Unmistakably royal. And the Spanish crown, caught off guard. Because this man might be Spain's future king-in-law. It began shortly after sunrise, when the royal gates usually echo only with the footsteps of guards changing shifts. A quiet hour. A private hour. The time of day when Princess Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, often reviews her schedules or prepares for training. Yet this time, the serenity shattered. A convoy approached. Not Spanish. Not European Union standard. A uniquely marked diplomatic vehicle with a flag no one expected to see waving on Spanish soil that morning. Security stiffened instantly. The Guardia Real stepped forward. Communications lit up behind palace walls. And when the door opened, the tension became electricity. A young man stepped out. Early 20s. Tall. Confident. Wearing formal attire with military precision. Not a celebrity. Not a Spanish noble. But someone whose presence demanded attention. His origin, a royal house outside Spain. And this was no courtesy visit. No, routine diplomatic exchange. His purpose was far more personal. He had come for Princess Leonor. This was the moment Spain quietly asked itself. Had the future king-in-law of Spain just walked through the gates without warning? To outsiders, this might look like a simple visit. A young royal greeting another. But insiders know, royal circles do not operate on coincidence. Nothing, absolutely nothing, is accidental. High-ranking families send messengers. Dynasties communicate with silent codes of respect. Every arrival is calculated, weighed, measured. So why now? Why him? And why Leonor? For months, whispers have surrounded the princess. Not ordinary tabloid gossip, but subtle diplomatic clues, invitations redirected, private meetings relocated, schedules shifted. Every flicker hinting at something delicate forming behind palace doors. If this young royal truly came with intention, Spain might be standing at the threshold of a future alliance. One that could influence tradition, politics, lineage, and the monarchy's long-term stability. The question becomes, was this the beginning of a royal courtship? Or the spark of an international scandal? To understand the weight of his arrival, you must understand Leonor's destiny. She is not merely the daughter of a king. Not simply a princess adored by the public. She is Spain's future queen. A sovereign in training. A symbol of continuity, stability, and generational renewal. Every decision she makes, public or private, is shadowed by protocol. Her education, her friendships, her travels, even her rumored affections. All scrutinized. A relationship for Leonor cannot be impulsive. It cannot be casual. It must align with Spain's constitutional monarchy. It must fit the expectations placed upon her since birth. So when a foreign royal appears at her gates, not planned, not publicly acknowledged, not on the official schedule, it is more than a personal gesture. It is a message, a signal to Spain, to Europe, to the world, and especially to Leonor. His identity was not broadcast, not announced, not revealed to paparazzi or press lines. But the clues are unmistakable. The military posture, the royal insignia embroidered subtly on his collar, the formal court etiquette in the way he greeted guards, the crest on his convoy's diplomatic plates. A prince, not a duke, not an earl, a direct heir, or close enough to matter. A future king in his own right. Or someone destined to carry immense influence in his home nation. Why would someone of that standing appear for Leonor? Connections between monarchies form the roots of alliances, stability, and shared legacies. Historically, such visits aligned with the earliest stages of arranged partnerships, long before public announcements. This raises a question viewers cannot escape. Did he come with permission from his family? Or against their wishes? The palace's reaction suggests they didn't expect him. Which means this royal is operating on his own timeline. His own mission. His own feelings. Perhaps for Leonor herself. Those inside Zarzuela later described a shift. A subtle change in the princess's expression. When she learned who arrived. Not shock. Not panic. Not disapproval. Something gentler. Something controlled, yet undeniably emotional. This wasn't a stranger. Not a random royal. Not an unfamiliar face. There was recognition, respect, and if palace whispers are to be believed, a trace of warmth. Leonor has mastered the art of neutrality, but even the most disciplined air cannot conceal everything. And witnesses say, the air changed when they met. Not dramatic, not theatrical, but meaningful, the kind of meeting that feels like two stories crossing at a critical chapter. The prince was escorted inside, away from cameras, into one of Zarzuela's private reception rooms, a room usually reserved for visiting heads of state. Yet this time, the atmosphere was personal, not political, not formal. Two families with centuries of history now observed two young heirs, young adults carrying centuries of tradition, standing in the same room. Did they speak alone? Did they discuss the future? Did they talk about duty, pressure, family expectation? We do know the meeting lasted longer than protocol would normally allow. Too long for courtesy, too long for just a greeting. Each passing minute deepened the mystery and intensified the curiosity. Here is where the story expands into something far larger. Royal marriages do not begin with fairy tale moments. They begin with measured introductions, shared responsibilities, compatible destinies. When two future monarchs, or individuals close to the throne, meet privately, under unexpected circumstances, the implications become immense. Spain has not seen such a scenario since the early days of King Felipe and Queen Letizia's unexpected courtship, which changed the monarchy forever. Could Leonor be walking into a similar turning point? And could this young royal be someone the palace had quietly considered, but never expected to act so boldly? That is the question fueling every insider today. Spain is not like other monarchies. Any partner of Princess Leonor must respect constitutional obligations, understand public scrutiny, treat royal duties as a shared destiny, withstand political pressure, remain loyal to Spain's traditions, and maintain a flawless public image. This is not a ceremonial title. This is a lifetime commitment. So for a prince to arrive unannounced, to step into the lion's den of royal expectation, means he believes he can meet these standards. Or at least, he hopes Leonor believes so. While the world sees glamour, the palace sees responsibility. Insiders report tension among senior advisors, especially those concerned with protocol violations. Some believe this marks the beginning of serious discussions. Others fear it could ignite political controversy. Because if Leonor chooses a partner from another monarchy, Spain must navigate diplomacy, public opinion, and centuries-old expectations. Not everyone inside Zarzuela is ready for that. At some point during the visit, Leonor and the prince reportedly walked through one of the palace courtyards. A rare moment of calm away from the watchers. Their conversation, unknown. Their expressions, controlled. But one observation stood out. They walked in sync. Not staged. Not choreographed. Natural. Two individuals who seemed familiar with each other. Comfortable. And unafraid of the weight their futures carry. That image alone has fueled speculation across royal circles. If this visit evolves into something more, Spain could witness the union of two royal dynasties, a future king-in-law with diplomatic reach, strengthened alliances between nations, a love story that rivals Europe's greatest, or a political storm that shakes the monarchy. Leonor's partner will shape the future of Spain's public image. Their children will carry two bloodlines. Their partnership will influence decades of monarchy, which is why advisors worry, and why the public is captivated. This is no longer rumor, no longer speculation. His arrival made it real. If the prince arrived with sincerity, Spain may be witnessing the earliest chapter of a royal relationship that will define an era. If he arrived impulsively, this could trigger consequences none of them predicted. Either way, nothing at Zarzuela will ever be the same. A future king-in-law has stepped into Spain, unannounced, uninvited, but undeniably important. And Princess Leonor, her story just turned a page the world will now watch. Line by line, moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, because history does not wait. Destiny does not ask permission. And love, especially royal love, arrives exactly when it intends to.